So it's my great privilege to interview Thijs.
Yeah.
Am I saying your name right?
Thijs, yes, it's a Dutch name, so it's not so common, but you're doing good. Yeah.
Wonderful. So tell us a little bit about who you are and how you have been on a journey that has had you arrive here.
The whole journey is quite long and like this, right? And I think a lot of journeys really are. But I think what I noticed from a really young child, I was always interested in people and why do people do what they do, and how come if two people are in the same situation, they do something different.
Yeah.
Or the same person does different things in similar situations. So that always fascinated me and really got me curious about human. And then a long way after, high school, I didn't really finish my studies, I didn't do work, I always thought it very trivial and boring. But at some point I figured out I have to do something, right? And in the beginning I saw more job like a unnecessary evil, or necessary I guess, but I had found out I'm now bored and it's horrible work. I could probably use my talents in work, have fun, get paid more for it, and enjoy my life around it better. So it doesn't have to take away from my real life, it can actually add to my real life. So having that insight was really key for me, and then I found my natural talents like facilitation, training, standing in front of people. I really started doing what I love more, and then that's how the ball got rolling.
Okay, so it began with a fascination with human behaviour as to why different people behave in different ways, and now you're doing facilitation and training. Tell us a little bit about the facilitation and training that you do.
Yeah, so I think psychology and human insight is so key in delivering well trainings and facilitation, because I follow trainings and it's usually like content pushing or just downloading information into your brain, and I really found it never really worked. So I try to always create learning, fun environments. People already know a lot about certain subjects, so how can I help them get that out, share it with each other in a fun and human and engaging way, and then reflect on that and hey, I already know a lot, or where am I missing something, but I probably can learn from you. So a good trainer, facilitator is somebody who creates dynamics and surroundings in which awesome things can happen, and they are shining, they are contributing and having a good time. I think that's really a key way to go, and it's fun for me too.
What would be an example of the type of training that you might lead?
Well, I do a lot of innovation training and also design thinking in startup, communication skills, and also that's really great. People, you have a first impression of me, I have a first impression of you, and we're not so aware of that, but when you create dynamics or you create fun working methods where you make the implicit more explicit, then it really people are so that's how it works, or you have these gut feelings. And then when you do that a couple of times, you can integrate that and use it in the rest of your own lives. And I think that's so valuable. We already have so many talents. It's just more awakening them and becoming more conscious to them and using them. So those are kind of the things I like to do.
Okay, so you're teaching people tools and techniques that enable visualization of what lies beneath, so that people can actually see what others are really thinking and feeling.
Yeah.
And by giving people tools, in a way you're creating collaboration fitness, which, by the way, is something I'm very passionate about. Is collaboration doesn't just happen, it's something that you can grow like a muscle.
Yeah.
And so you're effectively a collaboration coach, a trainer who is helping grow that collaboration fitness for people. What would be a place that would enable people to start a journey of engaging with someone like yourself, to be able to start doing some training that would help them get the ball rolling with this vision of, think big, start small, scale fast?
Yeah.
What is start small?
Well, if you want to connect with me personally, LinkedIn is just the easiest way. Even big names, if you come with them with a real honest question or something unique, 9 out of 10 times they'll respond to you because they love sharing about what they do. It's it's an innate drive. So I think that's really important as well.
So if you had a roadmap of trainings that you might take people through, you were able to give us a sense of the flavour of things you would start with as an entree, what you would then move on to as a main, what might become a dessert perhaps?
It's a really good question. I don't have a straight answer to that because I really like looking at what do you need and how to tailor that to your needs, and every organization, team is different. But I think on a person-to-person basis, I find really the best way to start collaborating better with others is becoming more aware of your own biases and your own ways of working. Because if you're unaware to how you work, you can do all the trainings about how to fit people in boxes and give them colors and this and that and how they work. But if you're not aware of how you work, it's still going to be a mismatch. So personal awareness is, I think, fundamental to all the other kinds of different things you can lay on top of that.
Yeah, that's fascinating. One of my frameworks that I use has the letters of change in it, and the first C stands for collaboration and culture.
Yeah.
And it sounds like you're beginning with that understanding of how people work and what ways of working are best for everyone.
Yeah.
And then the H is for hope. It's like, what is the vision that we share? What do we want to achieve? And the A is then for architecture and looking at how might we structure things to be able to realize that hope.
Yeah.
And then the N is for navigation and negotiation, the things that we do in projects where we're navigating our way through a roadmap, we're negotiating for resources and so forth.
Mm-hmm.
And then the G is for governance and dealing with risk and security and so forth. And then the E is for ecosystem and exchange. And it was interesting, we had a talk from Michael talking about ecosystem design. As you look through that spectrum and as we bring up the topic of ecosystem design, is that something that you see being a part of your work going on forward from here?
It's a very important part, and I think one of the things that was nice about Michael's talk, which you saw as well, so you can learn all the business tricks, like how to grow and how to work together, this and that, and then we did a very simple exercise where you had to do like 2 eggs in a bag and this and that, you had to fall from 2 meters, not make it. What does everybody do? Work on with themselves, right? You don't collaborate, you don't search others, you don't find ways how to make it a group effort. And that is so key, so you can try to say it, you can give people ways to learn it, but if the fundamental deeper things are still like, how do I win? That doesn't change. I think the other things are like only going to be half successful.
It feels like there's an opportunity for us to apply an ecosystem mindset to a collaboration community as well, because each of us have things that we can learn and teach each other about and open doors for each other. And I'm really excited to have met you and to have been part of this retreat together, and the future of being able to create an ecosystem where we enable others to be able to grow in their confidence and their capability and capacity. It's exciting.
It is, and that's why it's really nice about this workshop retreat. There's a lot of like official programs, but there's also like a lot of mini things where people say, hey, I know something about this, so I'm going to give a small workshop on how to make a training if you're a workshopper, because there are a lot of similarities but differences as well. So I want to help workshoppers to feel confident in generating a quick, fun, engaging training as well. And you learn a lot, and then I learn from you, and that's really what I believe is a good way to go about it.
I'm very much looking forward to your training workshop, and yes, I hope to also be able to run an ecosystem design workshop tomorrow as well. And what a wonderful opportunity to be able to try out some of the techniques and again learn from each other. Thank you so much for your time.
Great.
Ciao.
Ciao.